Hey you guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to make a DIY ring light. So without further ado, here we go. First off, I'm going to show you everything you're going to need. A clamp light, which was $6 at Walmart, really cheap. Some wax paper or another paper that can be shiny, some tape, a pencil or pen to trace, scissors, a smaller circle to trace on the inside of the light that's going to serve as our ring. So light bulbs, these are daylight light bulbs. You want to make sure you have daylight, a tripod or something to attach it to, and some cardboard to trace out our middle little light thingy. And I also have a box cutter, which you really can't see. All right, so first off, I'm going to start by taking my wax paper and tracing the outer edge of the clamp light. And this is what's going to serve as our white light cover, which is going to give us the effect. And I'm tracing at least, I think, about a ½ inch outside of the edge, outside of the parameter, just so that when we cut, we're going to cut it so that there are little slits to fold up over the light. So now I'm going to cut it out with my sucky scissors, and make sure that you're cutting along that 1 inch, that extra ½ inch or 1 inch that you cut. It's your allowance, I guess. That would be the word for it. So I'm just going to keep cutting it out and show you what we're going to do with that. All right, and you want to make sure that you have the shiny side facing the inside of the light. Now I'm going to take my pencil and make some little slit marks, about 8 to 10 of them, because we're going to cut these and they're going to fold up to cover our light. Alrighties, and I'm just going to cut those slits out with my scissors. And be sure not to cut too far into the middle, because you're going to mess up the entire thing. You're going to have to start over. So be careful about that. So yep, just cutting. And first off, you want to put your lights in. Don't forget to put your lights in. And remember, make sure that the shiny side of the wax paper is facing the inside of the light. Because if you don't, you run the risk of burning the paper and causing a fire. So please make sure that the shiny side of the paper is facing the inside of the light. Safety first. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape up those edges around the lamp. So make sure you have it in the middle. You don't want to move it around too much, or it's just not going to be even. And you're going to have open gaps in it. And you see me, this tape was so difficult to work with. It was terrible. So I'm just going to cut out my pieces of tape before I go ahead and do it and sit them out so I don't have to keep cutting. And yeah, like I said, the scissors were difficult, the tape was difficult to get off, so it is going to take me a little minute. Alright, so you see that I went ahead and I got some of it taped up. And you're just going to tape around, make sure that each flap is covered. Alright, and then you tape up those, and now you've got the edges taped up. And now we're going to start with our ring part of the light. So I'm just taking my small little bowl and I'm going to lay it on this cardboard and just trace it around. And I'm going to use my box cutter to kind of indent it so that I get like perforation. I'm just going to cut a little small slit to make it easier to cut with these scissors after I get done tracing it with the box cutter. And make sure you don't destroy whatever you're using to trace, because I'm going to cut up this bowl so many times. Just watch me. 1, that was the first time I cut it, and then 2, so be careful. Make sure that your hands aren't too low. All right, and now I'm going to start cutting that out with my scissors. I told you, these scissors were so crappy. They're like the little kids kind, but they're not like the plastic children's kind, but they started getting bent whenever I was cutting the cardboard, so terrible. Will not be using those again. Have a stronger pair, but I was just too lazy to go get them. So, yep, and just get that all cut out. Alrighties, we're almost there. Alright, and now that's cut out, you want to measure it against the middle, the center of your light. You want to make sure that it's in the center, and now you're going to tape it down. So I'm using that same tape. It's like packing tape. You want to use a thin tape. Usually something clear. You don't want to use something translucent. because a translucent tape is not going to give you the same effect. So like I said, you want to use transparent tape. And don't use masking tape because it's gonna put little lines in your light. And just make sure that it's as leveled in the middle as you can possibly get it. And I just put, I think, 4 pieces of tape. You can do more than that, less. I wouldn't say less, but at least 4. You can do more than that if you want to, just for extra security. And you can always use something lighter than cardboard, like foam board, or I used cardboard from a chip box, but you can also use the cardboard from a cereal box or something like that. Something thin, or maybe even cloth if you wanted to. I think that would probably work if you don't have cardboard. But yeah, I'm putting the final touches. And now it's time to attach it to my tripod. And again, if you don't have a tripod, you can attach it to anything. If you have a stick or a broom or something, I don't know. This lamp comes with a clamp, and it's really cheap and good to use. So this is just an old tripod that I had. I don't use my camera or my phone on this one because it's kind of wobbly and I just don't trust it that much. I got it for like $1 at like Goodwill or something. And you can't really see me attaching it because I didn't want to move the camera. Alright, and this is what the ring light looks like attached. And this is what it looks like in the dark. It's very bright. And it's like a strong white light, kind of like daylight. And that's just the background. And this is me and my weird face. That's what it looks like on. So thank you for watching.